There is something strange about a glass bottle. It feels permanent. It can sit on a shelf for years. It doesn't rust like steel. It doesn't rot like paper. And yet, the moment you throw it into a recycling bin, its identity disappears. If it enters the right recycling system, that bottle can be sorted, crushed into fragments, cleaned, melted, and used to make new glass. But before that happens, something has to destroy the bottle. And that's where this journey begins. If you enjoy discovering what really happens behind the everyday objects we use, like this video and subscribe to Material Unknown, because what happens to this bottle after you throw it away is far more industrial than most people imagine. The bottle's first destination depends on the recycling system where it was collected. Some systems collect glass separately, others process it alongside other recyclable materials. Either way, the objective is eventually the same. Recover the glass and remove everything that shouldn't be there. Because a glass bottle isn't arriving at the processing facility alone. It's arriving with everything that came along with it. Caps, paper, plastic, metal, dirt, and sometimes pieces of completely different materials. Glass is often separated by color: clear, green, amber. Color matters because the recycled glass eventually becomes part of a carefully controlled mixture used to manufacture new glass. But color isn't the only problem. A piece of ceramic may look harmless among thousands of pieces of glass. A small stone might look almost identical. Metal can disappear into the material stream, and these contaminants can create problems later in the process. So before our bottle can become useful again, the system has to clean it up. Glass processors use combinations of manual sorting, magnets, screens, air separation, and other technologies, depending on the facility and the quality of material being produced. Then comes the moment that changes everything. The bottles enter crushing equipment. It gets destroyed. Not melted, not dissolved, simply broken apart. A whole container becomes hundreds of fragments. Those fragments are called coulis. And from this point forward, the recycling system isn't dealing with bottles anymore. It's dealing with glass. Imagine looking at the bottle before recycling. You can recognize its shape immediately. After crushing, there may be no way to tell what individual bottle a particular piece came from. The glass has become a stream of fragments moving through the processing plant. But those fragments still contain unwanted material, so the system keeps working. Screens separate particles by size. Magnets remove ferrous metals, air systems can remove lighter materials, and additional separation technologies can help remove contaminants and improve the quality of the glass. The goal is simple: produce cleaner, more uniform cullet. This is one of the least visible parts of recycling. The dramatic moment is the bottle breaking, but the real challenge is what comes afterward. Glass has to be cleaned and prepared to a specification suitable for its intended market. That can involve multiple stages of crushing, screening, and contaminant removal. And the better the cullet, the more useful it becomes to the next manufacturer. Once processed, the cullet can be transported to a glass manufacturer. Now the material is no longer considered household waste. It's a raw material. A glass manufacturer can combine recycled glass with other raw materials used to make glass. Those materials commonly include sand, soda ash, and limestone. And the cullet itself can become a major part of the mixture. Then comes the hottest part of the journey. The prepared material enters a glass furnace. Temperatures can reach roughly 2,600 to 2,800 degrees Fahrenheit, according to the Glass Packaging Institute. The solid fragments begin to disappear into an intensely hot mass of molten glass. The bottle that once sat on your kitchen table is gone. Its material has become liquid. At this temperature, the material looks almost unreal. But this isn't science fiction, it's industrial glassmaking. The molten glass is carefully controlled before being formed into new products. The composition has to be appropriate, the temperature has to be controlled, and the material has to move through the manufacturing process consistently. What started as broken bottles is now part of a completely new manufacturing operation. From here, the molten glass can be formed into new containers. Machines divide the hot material into controlled portions. Those portions enter forming equipment, and under carefully controlled pressure and temperature, a familiar shape begins to appear: a bottle. The strange part is that the new bottle doesn't look like recycling. It looks like manufacturing, because that's exactly what it is. The newly formed bottles move through the production line. They cool, they are inspected, and containers that meet the manufacturer's requirements continue through the process. The original bottle is gone, but the material has returned. This is the part most people don't see. Recycling doesn't necessarily mean restoring the same object. Sometimes it means recovering the material so it can become another object. Think about the journey. A bottle leaves your hand. It enters a collection system. It is sorted, crushed, cleaned, processed, melted, formed, and eventually, another glass container can emerge. The shape changed, the product changed, but the material continued. And glass has a remarkable property here. Glass can be recycled repeatedly without losing its basic quality or purity, provided the material is properly processed. But there's an important reality behind that loop. Not every piece of glass entering a recycling system automatically becomes a new bottle. Contamination matters. Collection systems differ. Markets differ. Processing facilities differ. And some glass products are not appropriate for the same recycling stream as ordinary container glass. It's a chain of industrial decisions. Every stage matters. And if this changed the way you look at an ordinary glass bottle, like the video, and subscribe to Material Unknown, we're following more everyday materials into the industrial systems that most of us never get to see. The next time you finish a glass bottle, look at it for a second. It may look like a simple container, but behind that bottle is a chain of collection systems, sorting equipment, crushers, separation technology, furnaces, and manufacturing machines. And if that material enters the right system, the bottle you throw away today could become part of something manufactured tomorrow. Because sometimes the object disappears, but the material doesn't. This is Material Unknown. Every object has a story. We uncover what happens next.